Okay, so I'm back again. I know this is really quick visits in between my last one and my one that I'm going to right now in a few minutes. So I am back at my orthodontist. It's November 29th already. Can't believe it. And I'm back to get my adjustment done. Had the surprise adjustment done last time when I went probably about, 2 weeks ago, I guess, maybe a little more than 2 weeks ago now, just to have my red power chain removed, and I got silver, and they end up doing a full adjustment then as well. So they kept this appointment as well. So I'm super stoked. You can probably tell the gap has closed quite a bit from the last adjustment, which was just say 2.5 weeks ago. So I'm hoping now when I get this new power chain on that this gap will be closed for sure for Christmas. That's what I'm hoping for. Fingers crossed. Nothing else really changed. They did kink a wire up here on top. I haven't noticed any change in that at all. They have some kinking done on the bottom. I have some noodles stuck in my teeth because I quite literally just finished eating some soup. I haven't brushed my teeth yet. So there's still some weirdness going on at the bottom here that I'm hoping will get fixed out. But anyway, this is the silver power chain, and I loved it when I got it put on because you can't notice it at all. She also, which I forgot to mention, she put the power chain behind the wire. So you can see the wire a lot more, and then the power chain is behind it. It's great because you can't notice the power chain then as much. The only thing that I find a little bit of a hindrance, is the fact that it's extremely difficult to floss. So when you're trying to thread the floss down through, it gets hooked into the power chain. So it's super tough to try and get the floss down through to floss your teeth. Other than that, I love the fact that the power chain is behind. So if you're looking for a way to kind of hide your power chain, that's a great suggestion to give to your orthodontist. I don't know if it'll work on the traditional brackets, but it works for the Damon brackets that it can go on that way. So just to give you that idea, instead of putting it outside the wire. The nice thing with it being outside the wire is you can't see the wire then so much. And I'm in a pretty heavy wire, so it's quite noticeable. The heavy wire is, but I didn't really get any staining or change color with the silver power chain, so that's a plus. And I ate like pizza sauces, and like I had soup today, and so I was eating things that were really high in dyes and colors that would really change a clear power chain if I had it. But this is the silver one, and it's worked out great, so I'd highly recommend the silver power chain. What else? I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to head in and brush my teeth and get rid of these noodles that are caught in my brackets. And I will give you an update when I get back out. So bye for now. So I am done my orthodontist appointment and I am back home. And as you can probably see, my Christmas tree is up. I thought because this is going to probably be my last video for this year, that I would film in front of my Christmas tree. So without further ado, here is an update from my appointment that I had a few hours ago. So I had a lot of work done today, actually, believe it or not. I have a power chain on top and the bottom, and I have silver. I decided to go with silver. I was kind of disappointed. I would have liked to have done, say, a red and a green just for Christmas, but I have a Christmas party tomorrow, and then just, having pictures and stuff like that done, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do the silver just to keep it so that I'm not having the whole red and green bright, here's my braces look over Christmas. So anyway, gone ahead and done the silver. So she did... If you can see, she filed in between the teeth because I had, I don't know if they call it IPR is what they call this. I think it is. That could be totally wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I had like black spacing. So it's just spacing created down in the bottom of my teeth because the way my teeth came up, my top were wider than my bottom, so created some gaps down in the bottom. So then she had to file then down in the top so that we can move those teeth together to get rid of those gaps. So that's what she did. She did it on this tooth, this one, this one. I think that was it. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, and she did this one, 4. So she shaved in between 4 teeth. And she also shaved on the top of this one here, which is a lot longer. So it's looking a little bit better. They also kinked the wire down here so that they're going to bring that tooth, I guess, down a little tiny bit to even all those out. That's the only change that really happened on the bottom. And of course, the wire got kinked. So it's same thickness of wire, just a new kink on the bottom to try and fix that tooth a little bit, and a power chain. So that's what's happening down on the bottom. On the top, there's a lot of kinking going on the top. So they had a super hard time. I mentioned how I do not like how this tooth isn't down as long as this one, and it's just totally uneven, and I'm really not liking that. So they tried to kink it a full millimeter. They only kinked it, I think it was a little tiny bit last time. And this tooth is being really contrary and not wanting to move. And so they decided to vamp it up and put it up to 1 millimeter. When they kinked it that much, they couldn't, because there was more kinking going on over here in the wires, they couldn't get this wire to go into the bracket to close the door, because I have the Damon Braces. So they actually have doors that close, and that's what holds the wire in place instead of the elastics that you see on the traditional braces. So what they end up having to do is they had to back off some of that 1 millimeter. They couldn't bring it all the way to the 1 millimeter to get that tooth to move. So they're going to do it a little bit at a time. And then when they did it, and they started, so they ended up taking out this wire, I think it was 4 times in total. They'd have it in, except for they couldn't get the doors to close over here. Then they'd have to take out the wire. They'd have to fix the kinking, the bending in the wire. Anyway, it was like painful, actually. The experience was just awful. I even said, oh my God, if this doesn't work this time, I'm seriously going to cry. And then when they finally got it in and they got the door closed, the bracket snapped. And I was just about ready to bawl my eyes out. So what they did, they said it's not broke off the tooth. The bracket didn't break off the tooth. A piece of the bracket on the outside of the bracket is what broke. So what they end up doing, and you can tell, you can really see it and really notice it, and I don't love it. And I have this now until the new year. But what they did was they put filler over the top of the bracket to keep the door closed and to keep the wire in place. And this will then get this tooth moving, which is what they want. And next visit, when I go back in January, they have to remove this bracket and put a new bracket on, because they have to sand off this filler that they have over top. So if you see, it's a white filler. I just can't win. I can't win. So anyway, that's what's happening with that tooth. I just wish that this tooth would cooperate like the rest of them have and move already. So anyway, I'm disappointed that they couldn't get that full millimeter bending of the bracket done. And, but anyway, I guess it'll get done over time. They kinked a few more things too along the way across here. I'm wondering if this tooth is not gone up. To me, it looks shorter. Everything is kind of tender over this side anyway. this tooth here is extremely tender. Oh yeah, it's really tender. So I guess there's something going on at that one there. So anyway, the other thing that she also did was she massively widened the wire. So that's going to start widening my top teeth. I don't know if she did it on the bottom or not. I don't know. But I know definitely the top one. It was so wide that even her trying to get the wire in, the wire would be like, would pop out and stick into my face. Not pleasant, especially when they were pulling it out and putting it back in, and pulling it out and putting it back in 4 or 5 times. It was just insane. So it was quite a long visit. I was there I went in about 2:30 and I finished up at 4 o'clock. So it was a very long visit. They did some more kinking over here, I think, too. Anyway, there was a lot of, I can't remember, she was saying so many different things that they were looking to do. Some detail work being done here in the front as well, I remember. And mostly just along this side. And then the widening. So anyway, I'm excited to see what changes it's going to make. I really hate how this side is still quite slanted in. So she didn't like it either. She's going to fix that. She's working on that. So that's what this whole widening piece, I guess, is working on too. Anyway, everything is, not everything, but it's tight. And actually, so it is like, what time is it? It's probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock here now. So it's been like 4 or 5 hours since my adjustment got completed. And I have wires sticking out on the back already. Insane. So like that gap there is pretty much almost closed. See? So in the matter of hours, that is closed just about all the way, which is great. So I'm really hoping the same thing happens for these bottom teeth to close in these gaps. To me, my bottom teeth look totally different because of all the shaving. It's crazy how different they look. She was saying something else too about the bottom teeth that she needs to fix. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's the roundness that she needs to work on, if they're gone more flat and she needs to curve them more. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll show you a top view. And bottom. So they are coming along. I have, my next appointment is booked for January the 15th. So that's going to be in the new year. And then I also booked in for one after that, and that's 4 weeks after that. So that one's booked in for February the 12th. So that'll be a quick turnaround visit for that one. So anyway, I'm excited to see the changes that's going to happen over the next, I guess, 5 weeks or so. 5-6 weeks. And yeah, I think that's really about it. So anyway, I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody. Have a safe and happy fun time with your family and friends, both near and far. So happy holidays to everybody and Merry Christmas. And if you have any comments, questions, or feedback, please leave it below. If you want to give this video a big thumbs up, I'd like that as well. Make sure you like and subscribe. And we will see you again in the new year. So we'll say bye for now, and yeah, happy holidays. Bye.